In this video, I'm going to do a review of a product made by Alteco called EpoPutty. Now, EpoPutty is a two-part epoxy adhesive. It can be used in your aquarium. It's reef safe. Also, it does not cause pH swings or your skimmer to go crazy if you use it in the tank. Another nice thing about this product is that when it is cured, it is a lot stronger and harder than some of the other products that you may have used. It also does not cause discoloration to your fingers when you're mixing it, and overall it's a much superior product. Now, EpoPutty is relatively new to the United States, but they've been using it overseas quite successfully. One of the things that is a little bit different about the EpoPutty is it comes in two separate packages. Part A in the blue package is the resin part, and the part B is the hardener in the silver package. Now, what we want to do is cut equal amounts of both the resin and the hardener from each package and mix them together. Take a small amount of each one. Try to get them as equal as possible. And just mix them together. You'll notice that one of them is a little bit lighter in color than the other one, so we want to knead them together until it has one uniform, consistent color. The one thing that you're going to notice with this putty is it's not sticking to my fingers at all. It is somewhat tacky, but it's not sticking to my skin at all. Now, if it starts to get a little bit sticky, you can just simply dip your hands in some water, and you can work that right into the putty, and it has a really nice soft consistency to it. It's about the only way that I can explain it would be like a piece of chewing gum that you've been chewing. It's really nice and soft, and it works quite well. It's very easily shaped. So I've got a little container of water here with a rock and a frag plug, and what I'm going to do is demonstrate how you can attach the frag plug to the rock using the EpoPutty. The first thing you're going to want to do is take a small amount of the putty and tear it off and apply it around the frag plug. Normally you would have obviously a frag on here, but for this demonstration I'm going to show you just how to do it real simple, just putting the plug right onto the rock. So this is where I kind of want to mount it right here. So I'm going to push that in. I'm going to add a little more of the putty. All around the plug. Try to mold this in as smooth as I can. I'm going to push it down into the rock real well. Push it up under the plug. So that we have a nice smooth transition. Now I have the EpoPutty pressed around the frag plug pretty evenly here. What I like to do is I like to find a small piece of live rock that's got a nice textured pattern on it, and I just press this into the putty real lightly, and this makes a nice natural looking impression into the putty that over time when you get the coralline algae growth on there, you'll never even tell that this plug has been epoxied onto the rock. They'll look like one. The EpoPutty has about a 30-minute working time, so you need to get whatever you need done within 30 minutes. And this is pretty much how I want it, so I'm going to let it sit and rest, harden up, and we'll show you the final result. Okay, so here we have our frag plug has been epoxied to this dense piece of Haitian live rock, and the EpoPutty is just as hard as the ceramic frag plug and this piece of rock. Color is a really good match. I textured it pretty well here. It's very hard to tell where the rock ends and the epoxy begins. Overall, I'm very impressed with the EpoPutty. It's far superior from any other putty that I have used. It took approximately 2.5 hours for this to fully cure out of the water. If you're going to be doing any applying in the water, it's going to take about 6 hours to fully cure. And it all depends on the outside. If you're doing it out of the water, depends on the humidity and the temperature that you're using the product on. But about 2.5 hours, and it's rock solid here. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, happy reefing.